Well, hello and a very warm welcome back to the Andrew Eborn Show with me, Andrew Eborn. Who else? Well, I'm thrilled to be joined by Charlie Mullins, OBE, the legendary entrepreneur behind Pimlico Plumbers and also WeFix, a man who's built an empire from the ground up and earned an OBE for his services to business and to charity. But recently, shocking news. Charlie's been in the headline for a very different reason, and there are now threats, which we can exclusively reveal here on the Andrew Eborn Show, that he may be stripped of his OBE. Charlie, it's great to have you with us again.
I'd love to say it's nice to be back on your show, Andrew. I always enjoy it, but I'm not in the best frame of mind at the moment. I'm on the way to the airport at the moment and to meet up with my lawyers, Cohen Davies, regarding a legal case that I have with the Labour government at the moment. So I'm going to rush you a little bit with this interview because I have a flight to catch, and I need to see my lawyers as soon as I possibly can to get this problem resolved.
Okay, for those who may not know the full story, walk us through what's led to this threat to take away your OBE, what's been said and who's behind it.
Okay, well, who's behind it is Keir Starmer and the Labour Party. I'm being victimised. This goes back to November. Where they inform me that they are considering removing my OBE. It's obviously political motivated. Normally, they only try and remove somebody's honour if they're a convicted criminal. I've done nothing wrong. I made it very clear to them. My lawyers are very confident that they've picked a fight that they're not going to win. I'll be going back. I'll be meeting with my lawyers. We'll be getting the decision very soon from the government of whether they feel they've got enough. What do you say? Not enough. I'm going to plead blunt bullshit to remove my OBE. That's the long and short of it. What are they accusing me of? To be honest, I can't even remember what it is because it's that trivial. Let me find. Oh, they're accusing me of bringing the honours system into disrepute on the basis that I said something about a two-bob TV personality, Carol Ballman. They said that I also said something about the mayor, our London Mayor, Sadiq Khan, whatever his poxy name is, that I said about him. I said something about him. Yes, I did say something about Carol Baldwin. Yes, I did say something about Sadiq Khan. He's the worst mayor we've ever had. He's destroyed London's businesses. He's destroyed the economy. He is starting or enticing civil war on the streets with his racism. The man is a complete waste of time, and have just given him a knighthood. I've also evidently I told a joke, a football joke at the Curry Awards. This was 2 years ago. I told this joke when the World Cup was on. A little tongue-in joke about a football team, about football, a nothing thing basically. They also say that
what was the joke? Just to put it in perspective, and I appreciate humour doesn't appeal to everybody in these PC days. What was the joke?
Honestly, I could not care less about political nonsense and bit of humour. It's a 40-year-old joke, and the World Cup was on, and myself and David Steeman was on the stage giving out some very well-deserved awards to some Indian business people. And we started talking about the World Cup, and they asked David how they think England will do. And David, at that time, it looked like we was doing well. And he said, "Look, I think we could do very well." And they asked me the same question. I said, "Yeah, great." And I said, You know, the reason India never do well in the World Cup is because every time they get a corner, they like to open up a shop. It's a 40-year-old joke. The place went berserk with laughter. But unfortunately, we had some pest there in the audience. I can't remember his name, Doctor somebody. I think he was on GMTV, and he was on Strictly Dancing. Now, he's a proper pest. He's a troublemaker. He's known for it. And he made a big scene about it to the newspapers. And he said that I told a racist joke. He said the dancers was all white people and, no Indians dancing. They also said that the compere was white and not Indian. And he come up with some other nonsense. And then so he came up trying to cause a racial disruption there. And he come up with 4 or 5 things that he wasn't happy about the event. And then he said, you got this, well, he wouldn't call me a good businessman because he wouldn't know what a good businessman is. But he then said that I'll come up and said a racist joke, a 40-year-old joke anyhow, look. So that's what he come up with. He made a big scene of it. I'm told, allegedly, that he's a proper pest. He's a proper troublemaker. He's been removed from GMTV, I think, because he causes trouble. He's obviously like, he's just a typical waste of time, busybody, and he's a loser. I'm told that many TV channels have dropped him out. The media don't want to know him. He's a troublemaker. And, I want him to take legal action against me because then I will do legal action against him of what he has been saying about and enticing problems out there. Thank God I've not said anything about sexuality, because that's what he's looking for, me to say something.
The person concerned was Dr. Ranj, who said he was paraphrasing slightly when he talked about the joke that you did. He also blasted the decision to employ comedian Hugh Dennis as the main host, together with an all-white judging panel and 90% white performers. In addition, then this morning presenter, he hit out at organisers for auctioning a work by Winston Churchill due to his what he called problematic relationship with Indian people and Bengalis in particular.
That's right. Well, you can tell what he's talking about. And I think I was actually bidding quite a lot of money on the Winston Churchill one. And I think we got up to about 50 grand. I don't think I bought it on the night, but somebody else bought it. And he started saying that we're being racist by, auctioning off, one of the greatest prime ministers the UK has ever had. So, look, he was out for trouble. He's caused trouble. But again, people like him need to pick the fights properly because he ain't going to win this fight. And unfortunately, I'm told that he's finished job on many TV channels. And, I've got no personal disagreement with him, but I would not put him in charge of a broom on my company. And hopefully he never applies for a job because I wouldn't even let him in reception. I can't stand troublemakers that go on about this racist nonsense that's unnecessary. Anyhow, that's what I said. I also said at the time that unfortunately with the tragedy that happened at Southall with them young girls, and all the riots happened, the young girls that got killed, we was all very upset. And I said at the time that, riots were on the street. And we need to get the army on the streets and let them do the job that we pay them to do, to protect the nation. So I said something about getting the army on the streets. Just, and I meant it. We was in a mess out there. There was riots going on. We become a lawless society again because of lies from Starmer. I also said that we need to get the Navy in the sea. And they need to do the job that we're paying them to do, which is protect our waters and the safety of British people. Basically, I said we need to stop the dinghies, whatever way you want to stop them. I didn't talk about harming or killing people. What I was saying is we need to stop them. We need to get the people out of the dinghies, get them on boats or barges and send them back where they are. So I've not said or done anything that you wouldn't expect anybody that, is proud of their country and wants the best for their country. So he made himself busy, and obviously he's got some friends in the government somewhere, probably close friends, I should think, very close. Anyhow, so they come at me 4 months ago, said they're doing this, big inquiry nonsense. I went to, which I believe are the best solicitors out there for this. They specialise in this type of thing of people saying the wrong thing on X or on Twitter, saying the wrong thing, or not the wrong thing, but the politically incorrect thing. They've won every case that they fight for. They're very confident on the outcome of this. That's where we are, really. I think I'm trying to think. What's it? Normally they
clearly, Charlie. I mean, you're clearly very upset about this, and understandably so. Tell me, when you first heard about the possibility of their removing your OBE, what went through your mind? Did it feel like a personal attack or just another bump in the road?
I'd already made a statement then that I'm leaving the UK. I've always said that, how damaging Labour are. There was quite a bit of press on it. And I'm not saying anything that 50 million people in the UK are not thinking. I just said what a waste of time they are. They're going to destroy the UK. They will bring it down. They will break the UK, and we'll have to start again. I'm only saying what most people are thinking. And they got very annoyed about that. And I think it was in one of the national papers, and they started, they put, they had a representative from Downing Street, a press representative, attacking me, saying, "Oh, he's wrong. Millionaires are not leaving. They're not fleeing the country. They're not this, they're not that." Load of rubbish. I was right. They was wrong, as we all know. But they said that, what I'm saying was nonsense. They was the ones that were telling lies. We all know where we are now, 6 months down the line. So these bits that upset them, they think that, let's get him back. They think, so anyhow, I'm being victimised, but they're not going to win the fight. They haven't won the fight because they've lost me as a taxpayer, and they've lost millions of other taxpayers, and we won't be coming back until Labour are removed. So it's very much a case of victimisation. And I'm trying to think here. I'm sitting here thinking, what the hell have I done? I've done nothing. I think they're trying to ruin my reputation, and I think they're trying to ruin my new business, We Fix London, which is absolutely booming now. And the reason it's booming is not only because we're a good business and a good service, but we're not entering into none of this woke nonsense that the government wants us to enter into. I'm not allowing Rachel Reeves to damage my business like she's doing to many others. And they know that, I'm a proper English guy. I am very patriotic. I left the country purely because I cannot tolerate, I know I shouldn't use the word arseholes, but these people, I cannot tolerate them destroying the UK. And that's where we are. So I go back very shortly, actually, and appointment with the lawyers tomorrow. We're very confident that, they've got it wrong. We have I think it's a 52-page statement from many people that know me and work with me and charities, and that believe that what's happening is wrong. And we'll be in a position this week to say exactly what the outcome is from them. If they win, they lose, because they are not, I ain't leaving it at that. And if my honour has to go, and I'm going to be straight with you, then all them nonsense and convicted criminals and paedophiles that have been charged, that work for the Labour Party, been in prison, then all of theirs needs to be removed also. I mean, I've not brought the honour list into disruption. I've actually brought it up. In other words, it's proper, genuine people that have been given something, instead of all these liars in the Labour Party and all these nonsense and paedophiles and, you know, I'm not talking about all of them, of course. I'm only talking about 90% of them. Obviously, there's some good people there. Yeah, I am annoyed, Andrew.
I know you're clearly annoyed and very upset. I mean, just to put this in perspective, you were awarded your OBE in 2015 for your contributions to business and charity. What did that honour mean to you at the time, and how do you feel about it now with this cloud hanging over it?
Okay, yeah. I would say it's probably been the biggest achievement in my life. And yeah, got the OBE at the time from Prince Charles, who's obviously now our king. So yeah, biggest achievement in my life. And I think it also inspired many other people on, many working class people that realised that, you know, we know it's weighed against us because of the way we talk. And you know, we ain't got the old school tie and the old handshake and all that nonsense. So we're already 10-0 down. You know, us type of people are not normally given these honours. And, you know, more and more, I think if someone like me got the medal, it gives hope to many, many other people. And you know, the people that really deserve it, the real heroes, you know, the nurses, the doctors, the people that are really helping and doing something for the country, rather than these busybodies who do nothing other than, I suppose, bum licking. So, you know, I think it was a great thing. And, you know, I have to be honest with you, there's many people that have got medals, and I would say 50% of them deserve them and 50% don't. And they need to look after more of the people that are real, genuine, hardworking people or helping people. I didn't get mine for charity. Yes, I do a bit of charity work. I'm very pleased to say I got it for services to the plumbing industry, and obviously, you know, my strong point of getting youngsters into work.
Yeah, and you're very passionate about that, and that passion remains. Now, some have pointed to your outspoken views. You've touched on those, whether it's on Brexit, business, or other hot topics, as the reason this is even on the table. Do you think this is about punishing you for not towing the line?
Andrew, you asked me that question 10 minutes ago. I'm being victimised. You know, my lawyers are telling me I'm being victimised. I'm being victimised. And look, I don't mind a fight, you know, and if I win, I win. If I lose, but, you know, it's an unfair fight. They've got no justification to go by. It's straightforward victimisation. I mean, that's it. I mean, if it was the other way around, me doing anything, you know, I'll be in the High Court. I'll probably be in prison. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, they're putting people in prison by putting stuff on X. They're putting them in prison. I mean, probably if Tommy Robinson weren't in there, I'd be in his cell if they had their way. But, you know, that's why
you've certainly never been one to hold back, which is why I wanted to clarify, labor the point, if you like. You've never been one to hold back on your opinions. So do you see this as a broader issue about free speech in the UK, where honours like the OBE come with an unspoken expectation of silence?
Of course. You know, they think they're going to give you a medal and you'll shut your mouth up. That's what they think. Of course they do. Yeah, of course. You know, but more and more people are going to be outspoken because we're being told to shut up. You know, we cannot continue being controlled by a woke government and all this political correctness. You know, I've just done your program there, Andrew. I know you have millions of people watch it, and there'll be a few people that disagree with me, and that's fine.
So the gremlins have hit the works. Charlie has just been cut off. We're going to get him back on. In the meantime, you're watching the Andrew Eborn Show. You can follow me at Andrew Eborn, at Octopus TV, and click that subscribe button now. Charlie Mullins is coming right back after this break.